DNS, also known as Domain Name Service, is responsible for translating human-readable names into machine-readable names. Even though most of us get to our favorite websites by typing in the URL like internetclass.org, our browsers actually require the IP address you are trying to access. To do this, your browser sends a request to the DNS, which is similar to Yellow Pages, but instead of matching businesses to phone numbers, it matches a site's URL to the correct IP address. Different computers can access the same URL, but get a different IP address. If two people are trying to access internetclass.org, one from Buffalo and one from Europe, my page will load almost instantly, when the person from Europe might take a fair amount of time to load. To fix this and make the internet more efficient, we try to make the content closer to the user. We do this by using CDN, or Content Delivery Network. CDN hosts the server in different places to allow content to be loaded quickly. So instead of the packet from the person in Europe going all the way to New York, it will go to a server in Europe. Small websites don't do this because it requires setup and infrastructure, which could be expensive, but popular websites do it, such as Google, Yahoo, and the New York Times. A DNS request first goes to the recursive name server, which is handled by your internet provider. Your request will then go to the appropriate TLD, also known as top-level domain server. If you are trying to get to internetclass.org, for example, it will go to the .org top-level domain server. After, it will contact an authoritative list of IP addresses within that top-level domain to find the URL. Once the IP address is retrieved, it is sent back to the recursive name server and then onto your computer. In this case, the top-level domain would have told my computer 128.205.43.182, which is the internetclasses.org's IP address. When someone buys and registers a domain, it tells the domain registrar which domain it is using. It tells the top-level domain, the registry, to update the top-level domain's IP server address. To make things more efficient, both the recursive name server and your own computer will cache DNS entries for a while. Next time you want to go to internetclass.org on your computer, it will know the correct IP address stored in the local DNS cache, or get it directly from the cached DNS recursive name server. This can cause problems, especially if your computer is trying to use its own cache, DNS cache. If a website updates the IP address and your browser grabs the IP address from the DNS cache stored on your machine directly instead of searching the recursive name server, you will get a 404 error. If you're on a Windows machine, it is quite easy to clear a DNS cache by opening the command prompt as an administrator and typing in ipconfig//DNS, also shown here. If you're getting weird redirects to random websites, it could mean that malware poisoned your local DNS cache by making your DNS cache stored locally point to malicious websites. If this is happening to you, running an anti-malware may be able to help you. Despite its vulnerabilities, DNS has made the internet a lot more convenient to use. Thanks to it, we don't have to remember and punch in a string of IP addresses every time we want to surf the web.